Welcome to this episode of Evolve with acclaimed author and visionary teacher, Kalani Das.
When we find ourselves in a condition where we may not be able to sleep for whatever reason, we may be thinking about something specific, or we may not realize why we have a feeling of unrest, a kind of energy that is just keeping us from relaxing fully and from sleeping. And we know sleep is very important. So when we find ourselves in that situation, there's something we can do rather than go to pills or gadgets or outside remedies, which can work. I'm not saying we shouldn't ever use those, but something we can do from the inside to address, possibly more deeply address than taking a pill or using an outside remedy, would be to what I call identify the feeling, first of all. If you scan your body, so you're laying in bed, let's say you've been trying to sleep for 30, 40 minutes, maybe longer. Scan your body and identify the feeling, because it's important to understand where it is. The more we can be with it, the more real and less mysterious it becomes, and the better our chances are to directly address it. So the first thing is to identify the physical feeling, because we are physical beings, we live in a physical world. Rather than using your imagination, letting your mind run wild with it, use your body, ground into your feelings, your sensations, and locate the feeling, describe it, try to identify it. Maybe it's a kind of an energy. Where is it in your body? Maybe there's a tightness. So tune into that, step one. Step two, become curious. And I've mentioned this in other contexts, but in this context, I would say ask that energy, whatever you want to call it, the feeling, ask it what it needs. I know that sounds a little strange, but it might make it easier if you put it into the framework of if it was a small child or if it was a person. If it was, for example, a different you, maybe a younger you or an older you, whatever works for you is fine, but just place it into maybe as if you were talking to a person whom for you care deeply. Because you do care about yourself, even if this is all happening inside yourself. We want to give ourselves the same care and attention and love as we would a child or an elder adult, somebody that we're caring for. So that's the idea. And then ask it, how can I help you? Ask that entity to share with you, what is it? What's causing this energy? What's causing the feeling? And it may be something that could be transmitted in your own mind in words. It may be not able to be put into words. It may be imagery, it may be other feelings, it may be just different kinds of a sensory experience. But whatever that is, ask it to express itself. Say yes instead of saying no. Because when we feel tightness, when we feel tension, our kind of gut instinct is to push it away. And if we push away, we cause more tension. We don't solve the problem. We don't allow the feeling to develop and move through and move beyond that situation. It just stays there. So rather than push against it, ask it to grow. And you can try this. Ask it to grow, invite it to grow and to even be more of whatever that feeling is. I know this sounds counterintuitive, but try it, because when we say yes, we stop pushing against it. It's almost like there's water building up, behind a doorway. And if we try to hold it, the more we try to hold it, the heavier it gets, and the more powerful it gets, and the more energy it takes. When we open the door, it might flood by us, and that might feel weird at first, but quickly, the energy is going to move wherever it needs to go. It's going to have permission. And you can help that along by just becoming curious about what it is. And you may have a clear answer, you may not, but that's not the point. The point is to stop pressing against it. So you can do this exercise, identify the feeling, ask that feeling, however you want to do that, how you can help it and invite it to grow. And I think if you do that and do it honestly, earnestly, authentically, with intention, you'll find that the feeling will diminish because you've allowed it to have a voice and you've allowed that emotion, that feeling to run its course and to move through and to move on. The purpose of these talks is to increase spiritual well-being and health for everyone. So be sure to share these with people that you care about. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything, leave your kind and helpful comments below, and if you like this content, you'll love the Evolve podcast available at kalanidas.com.